The following program contains names, places, and events that have been anonymized or fictionalized for the purposes of protection and safety. The following program is provided for entertainment purposes only, and any commentary from the hosts are strictly conjecture and should not be held as making any definitive statements about the truth or identity of any particular individuals or circumstances. If you or a loved one are involved in an abusive relationship, please call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233 for support.
Happy Dating Detectives Monday, but I gotta tell you, I'm not so happy about this episode.
This is a sad one. Most of them can be sad in some way or another, but this one it's sad, but it's so important. I'm so grateful that they are sharing this with us.
Yeah, and we've only heard the first half so far, so now we're going to get into the second half. Thank you for patiently waiting for part 2.
Listen to part 1 if you have not. The quickest recap ever. We have sisters Lena and Tessa. Their mom, who was, had a career, had a life, was totally independent and great, started dating a guy named Grant through the Reiki world and like the spiritual wellness world. And he claimed to be an up and coming supernatural healer and started giving some medical advice he definitely should not have been giving. And
I feel like people like him are why people have a hard time believing in other stuff. Like believe in what you want, but he's someone who maybe gives it a little bit of a bad name, I think.
Hey, we say trust but verify, like verify. This guy was not verified. And it's really sad what it led to. So we've talked about cancer and definitely a lot of hospital and medical stuff and medical manipulation and abuse and
just terrible stuff this guy did. And we're devastated for them, but I'm so grateful for their bravery and their courage in sharing this. So without further ado, shall we do part 2 of this episode?
Let's do it.
So at one point, we actually were like, I wonder what his motive is. The whole family was just sharing their thoughts like, do we even know if he's still married in another country? And so that's when we decided to do our own little investigation into this guy. We the whole family was just sharing their thoughts like, do we even know if he's still married in another country? He has, the whole reason why she can't be on his social media is because he didn't want
the
ex-wife to see her on his social media. And then she would cut communication off with his kids. So the theory came up of maybe he's still married over there and we don't know. And what's his motive here?
Has he done this to other women? Who knows?
Oh, sure. Well, I'm curious, Mackenzie, if you were a PI, like theoretically, you are a PI, finding out if someone's married in another country from the US, how would you go about doing that?
It's hard because it's a whole nother government. So it's a whole nother set of laws. It's a whole nother set of red tape. Like it's a whole nother everything. It's so hard. It's not impossible. Great. It's just hard.
Well, some of our family members knew someone who knew someone in that country.
Right.
And they're like, we need his alien ID number in order to look that up. So we're like, okay, how can we ask mom for this information
without alerting her that we're doing a full-fledged investigation?
So I kind of brought it up and I'm just like, so, how a while back we were talking about why he doesn't put you on his social media? And I'm like, what if he's still married in another country, mom? So I'm like, I can actually ask my friend who might still have a connection over there. And mind you, I had already asked her. So I'm just like, trying to break it to her that I need that info. And she's like, ooh, that's actually a good idea. And I'm like, ooh, okay. She's open to the idea. Because our mom was like a little investigator. She loved a good investigation.
That's what I was
I love her.
Gonna say, because
I love her.
She is literally like, she'll find out anything about anybody. That's why this whole thing is crazy, because For her to get duped by this guy is weird.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I talked to my friend and she needs a alien ID number. I'm like, how do we get that? And she's like, all right, so my keys, she's like, have a spare key in this locker in my building. Go in the house between this time. He's usually not
Well, he's
home.
not there.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. I'm like, okay, okay, okay. So I find the locker, I unlock this thing, I find the key. I'm literally sweating because I'm so nervous. And I'm creeping into their house and like, just like kind of
I
like
love Lena's just in the
this,
background laughing. I'm obsessed with both of
so
you.
like the smallest little noise. I'm like, oh my God, what was that? Like, so it was tense. And I'm snooping through all their stuff. But the thing that scared the crap out of me is I walked into her room where they sleep, and the first thing I see was this weird photo. It was black and white of this scary looking man that was taped above her side of the headboard, like where she sleeps. It was taped on the headboard on her side of the bed.
Wow.
And I'm
What?
like,
He looks
ew,
so
what?
evil.
It scared me. I'm like, he looks like one of those, I don't know what movie I can think of, but a devil, almost like a human form of a devil, like an
What?
elongated chin. Yeah, like
Yeah.
weird
I
looking
don't like
ears.
it.
Like he looked really, it was scary.
And it was like
I'm
printed
like,
out and taped up there. Just
yes,
like,
Yes.
yes. And I'm
Like
like,
we have
oh,
like actual photos of this. You can literally send it to you just for visual.
yeah, I will send them. And so I'm like, ew, what? I got creeped out. So I'm just like looking through drawers. Like after seeing that, I'm like, I want to get the hell out of here. I don't know what this
Yeah,
is all about.
creepy.
yeah, this is going to be like a
So,
booby trap.
right. My thought was, what if he's doing a curse on her or whatever? Like,
Oh,
Mhm.
I
I
don't know,
don't
some sort
like
of like
that. Creeps me
witchcraft.
out.
So I'm like, ew. So I took a picture of it.
Yeah, she took a picture of it and sent it to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell? What is that?
We do a reverse image and it's actually
It's like some German guy or
he
right?
was a Nazi.
What?
He was a
What?
Yeah.
Nazi.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
Nazi?
Yes, yeah.
Oh my God.
That was into natural healing or something.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
he,
gosh.
ironically, he died from colon cancer or something like that.
Right. Yeah, he
Yeah,
was a
well,
healer.
So I asked my mom, I'm like, were you aware of this photo that's taped over your side of the bed? Who is that? And she goes, no, that wasn't there when I left, but that's who he idolizes. Like he's some
Yeah,
healer
like
from
a
like
healer.
the
She told
40s or
me,
No.
something.
she told
Yeah.
me, "Oh, he tells me stories about him all the time." And I'm like, "But mom, he was a Nazi." And she's like, "Oh, I didn't even know." Like she didn't even look into it.
I mean,
Oh
wait,
my
was it
God.
Bruno Groening?
Yes.
I just
Yes!
Googled it.
See how easy it was to Google
Well, I
that?
looked
Yes.
up Nazi natural healer and I saw like a few
That's
big names and I was like,
wild.
they don't look like devils. No, guys, look up Bruno Groening. This guy looks,
Look
I
at
get why
it.
you're freaked out.
Yeah. He's
Mhm.
creepy looking.
Finding the perfect doctor through ZocDoc is kind of like going on an amazing first date. It's one where they plan around your schedule. It's one where they listen closely to what you have to say. And it's also a date that takes your insurance. Wait, are we still talking about dates? Well, I can't always promise great first dates, as you know, but I can tell you that you'll find an amazing doctor on ZocDoc. ZocDoc's the best, and I've used it for a very long time, long before we got to talk about them on Dating Detectives. And I have found, I would say, most of my doctors now from ZocDoc. It makes it easy to find a doctor that's right for you, and then you can instantly book the appointment there. And it's a free app and a website. So you can search and compare high quality in-network doctors. That's right, in-network. And just click to book. They have over 100,000 doctors across every specialty: mental health, dental health, primary care, urgent care. You can filter your doctors based on who takes your insurance, where they're located, or if they're a good fit for something specific that you want. Maybe you want a specific gender or whatever. And then they have ratings and you can see what people really think about their experience. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/TDD to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/TDD. ZocDoc.com/TDD. I really love cooking for my friends and family, except I'm really bad at cooking. So it's a little bit of a struggle. Like, I wish I was the type of person that could have everybody over for a great meal that is all hot at the same time. And I'm just not. But I recently cooked dinner for my mom and my brother using the sous vide, a smart countertop oven, and a flexible meal delivery service. And it was so easy. And I love my sous vide. I think it's like crazy, mind blowing that it even exists. So, my favorite thing about it is the built in refrigeration. So, you can set up dinner, your ingredients in the morning, and then sous vide will keep it cold until it's time to cook later. So, you don't even have to be home to start it. For me, timing, like I said, awful at it. So, I was making salmon on one of the thingies, and I used the air fryer setting. And then I was making roasted vegetables on the other setting, and they needed different amounts of time. But I put them in at the same time and I said what time I wanted it done. And sous vide was like, okay, we know how to cook the vegetables and we won't start cooking the salmon until it's time for the salmon. You just sit back and have a sip of your wine while you wait. If you use their meal delivery service, they come with these tap to cook cards. So you can tap the card onto sous vide and it knows what meal you are prepping. They're chef crafted meals delivered right to your door. You can choose from over 50 meals with new options added every week. And the kitchen robot fits on your counter and it has 15 cook modes, including air fryer, slow cooker. You could use it to cook pretty much any recipe. It saves time. So stop spending hours in the kitchen and a fortune on takeout and delivery. Sous vide's the simple solution that takes all the stress out of planning dinner. And sous vide offers a 100-day risk-free trial. So give it a try. Go to sousvide.com/dating detectives to get 16 free meals. That's SUVIE.com/dating detectives. What else do you find when you're in the apartment?
I'm going through some drawers. I ended up being super nosy because I don't know if he removed it on purpose, but I couldn't find any of that information that they were asking me for. And I'm like, oh, but whatever. I'm going through all the stuff that's in his nightstand and there's random papers. And then I see he has a box of antibiotics that he got from the country that his son lives in because it's in another language. But typically, you'd need a prescription for that antibiotic here, but over there, you don't. So he's just bringing it on over to America. And I'm just like, is he also giving these to his little quote unquote patients that he sees?
Oh, I
Like,
wonder if he's like, I'm healing you with this concoction that I made myself, but it's really just an antibiotic. He's selling
Right.
something else. What
right.
wow.
Yeah. I found that, but I didn't find what I was looking for. So without it, we weren't able to pull up anything. So our cousin started looking into trying to see what she could find out on the internet. She went down like a rabbit hole and she ended up finding his baptism certificate. I
I don't
think,
even know how she did that.
yeah, I don't either, but she found it.
It has his name, it has his date of birth, like,
Wow.
important stuff.
But she ends up digging around on the internet. She first started on Facebook and was able to see what his kids looked like and then was able to match it with another profile that she found, and those same kids were in it. And she does end up finding his ex, who he claimed still lived in that other country. But she's actually living a few hours away from us.
No, she's not.
Yep.
Yep.
Tell me everything. Walk me through the whole
Literally
Facebook
lives like
page.
3 hours away in Orlando.
Stop.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, so what's on the social media that we find of hers? What's her deal?
We see her pictures and stuff with his kids that he was supposedly sending money to, the other country. And we're just like, what the hell is going on?
I was actually in shock that she was here in the state just a few hours away. I always kind of suspected that they were still either together or married, but I really did think that she was in a different country.
And what is he doing on his whole days that he's gone for a whole literally 12 hours? Like, he could easily drive up there and drive back.
Yeah, in one day.
That was my theory. I don't know about
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not
but
not possible.
Yeah.
But are they still together? Because he was living with your mom.
Right. And does she even know? Was she in on it? Those were all these things that were like going through my head.
Yeah.
Has he done this to other people? We don't know. And our cousin, they're close too. Our whole family is very close. And she brings it up to my mom like, hey, I kind of found this, because we didn't really want to bring it up to her because she might have been like, nah. But if our cousin maybe brought it up to her, she'd be more receptive to it. So she did. And
so, according to my mom, this woman would hold their kids over him. Like, if you don't send money for support, then I'm just going to cut off all communication and you won't see us again. And that was the main reason why their relationship had to be a secret. That's why he couldn't post her or show her on social media. And the whole time, my mom's sending money for the kids. So when my cousin broke the news and, showed her and sent her all the screenshots, like, look, she's right here in our backyard, basically. I think my mom was also really shocked. She didn't really say how she felt, but you can just tell that it definitely affected her. And I think she was maybe a little ashamed of how things turned out because, she spoke so highly of him. Like, how do you go back on all the praise that you gave him? You can't really. And she ends up talking her into, hey, listen, he's bad news. We've found out a lot of stuff. And the fact that he was the main person convincing you not to go through a treatment and stuff like that. He might be trying to maybe get you sicker for personal gain. And the whole time I was even saying, I'm like, do all of your followers know that your wife is in the hospital dying from cancer?
No, that wouldn't be good for his business.
right.
And
not
his
good.
brand.
And at one point while she was there, we found out that he was holding a seminar one of those days, charging $100 for an entry to his seminar. He was holding a whole seminar.
That's what he did. And
He
our
really
mom,
thinks he's somebody.
But she is just like, all right, yeah, I see it. And by that time, we had already blocked him. He wasn't coming over and he wasn't reaching out to her anymore either. So that kind of hurt her. You could see it. Like, it's just because she knows it's not right. Like, it wasn't right for them to be together. It still was like, he's not even like reaching out.
And she was in love with him.
Yeah.
like, so
Yeah.
she thought, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Is she starting to think about divorcing him?
So yeah, our cousin actually convinced her. After hearing just a little bit, she was like, yeah, I'm all in. Let's start the process. And the lawyer was hired. She kind of came to terms and was more pissed off. And she's like, all right, yeah, like finally he texted her. It's like, oh, how are you feeling? And she responded. And I remember she seemed really proud of this message. She's like, I'm doing a lot better thanks to these doctors and God. And, basically telling him, no thanks to you. I'm doing so much better because of everyone else.
I love that.
Yeah, she was like so proud of that text. And I'm like, yeah, you tell him. So he said something to the effect of like, oh, someone must have your phone because you would never say something like that. He could not believe it. But
I mean, I feel like that's how you were feeling the whole time he was with her. You're like,
Exactly.
did someone take her
Like,
phone?
who is?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who are you?
right.
Man.
But yeah, she was doing a lot better. She definitely had a different attitude towards the whole treatment plan, and she was more open to what the doctors had to say and trusted them a little more. She was able to get a second round of chemo and she was starting to do better. Her doctor was telling us it shrunk, everything is looking better. We were like, oh my God, you're almost out of the woods. Everything is going to be good. Everything's going to be fine. And they were like, all right, we could start talking about discharge. And it was at that point where she's like, I'm not going home back to that.
She refused to go back to her own home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because she was suffering so much there because of him.
That's
Yeah.
so sad.
Yeah. So her best friend and her mom, they were in the home health aid business. And she's like, listen, you guys work, you have the kids, you guys have stuff going on. She can come back to our house. We have those hospital beds already. They lived on a ranch. We're like, oh my God, that sounds so peaceful and so much more relaxing than maybe even being at one of our houses. And they have the experience to do the home health nursing. We felt comfortable with that. And she went back with her friend, and maybe 2 weeks go by. And we were like, it worked, it's working. But there was just so much damage done to her liver that things were just starting to slow down and shut down. And it literally was like maybe from 1 week to the next that it was such a big decline. She started having these symptoms of not being able to breathe, and her lungs were filling up with fluid again. So they took her straight to the ER again. So she's back in the ER for the third time. But at that point, she was just not doing well at all. They couldn't give her another chemo round because she just wasn't in a condition to. She had a lot of fluid buildup. There was just so many things going on. Again, we had him blocked from that hospital. He didn't even know where she was actually.
Good.
When they, yeah, from the time that she was even with her friend, he had no idea. We didn't tell him anything. No one told him where she was. And at that time, one of the nurses comes up to me and she's like, since you guys have power of attorney for her health, please sign this DNR. Please don't make me have to do CPR on your mom, because if I do, she's so fragile. The CPR is going to kill her. Please do that for me and for
Wait,
her.
so are you guys just standing there in shock that this has
Kind
happened
of.
so fast?
Yeah, extreme shock, because it's only been what, like a 6 month, not even like 5 month period. We're in November at this point. From August, when she got taken to the hospital the first time, where she had a call for the ambulance, we're in November now, and they're like, at this point, all of her organs have shut down.
Oh.
She's not able to swallow anything, and those are signs of end of life. So she's not going to be healthy enough for another round. And, this is it, unfortunately. So the doctor's going to come in a few to talk to you guys about hospice options. So
Yeah, it was really tough to like even
hear that.
decide
I
what
can't
to
even.
do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like our mom was literally alive and well just months before. She had just went to my daughter's graduation, and
Yeah.
she was completely, she was starting to feel sick and stuff. So it's just
But
like it
wasn't
happened
like
so
this.
fast.
I'm
Too
so
fast.
sorry. This is nightmare. Nobody wants
Yeah.
any part of this. And then add to it, I mean, to use the nurse's words, the drama of this guy.
Yep.
Like, I don't know how you process that.
It was a lot at once. I can say that myself and the entire family was frustrated, really angry that this man took it upon himself to play doctor and make it seem like he had things under control when all of this could have been prevented simply by just listening to the doctors, and we're like, so she has to do something to protect her stuff because she just agreed to a divorce. And we reached out to the lawyer. He was nice enough to come to the hospital room and do her last will and testament. And,
Wow.
she was able to sign that. And it literally says in there, I'm specifically leaving out my husband's because at this moment we're currently separated.
So there's no
And
question at all. Like, oh yeah, she meant
Yes.
for sure to include
right.
her husband.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
so glad that you got that to happen for her. That's
Yeah.
like,
She had said that weeks earlier, but she
but you didn't
declined
think,
so
yeah, you didn't think
rapidly.
this was going to
Right.
happen.
Yep. So she was able to do that, and the lawyer's like, "I don't know what you want me to do. I can still file this divorce, but it's gonna be more
Mhm.
symbolic than it is helpful because,
It's not gonna finalize,
right."
because
Mm.
she was not doing well at all.
Yeah, so he's like, "So we can either do this or you can keep me around for probate after because obviously you're gonna need it." So we're like, "Yeah, I guess." So but we did end up putting her in hospice, and she passed away shortly after, you know.
Oh my. Mm.
It just felt so unreal. It didn't feel real. You just feel numb. Everything happened so fast, so you don't have time to process what just happened. How did we get here so fast? Like, if you would have asked me a year before that, I would have never in my wildest dreams thought that we'd be where we were at, having to make funeral arrangements. I'm like, I'm still a kid. My mom was the one who usually arranged funerals in the family, and now we're sitting here arranging hers, and like so soon. Just yeah, very surreal.
I'm so sorry. I mean, this wasn't supposed to happen.
Right. We
Right.
we didn't think it would happen so
Never.
quick.
I never thought this would happen ever.
Right. It was
Ugh.
just
This
like
man just came into our lives and
Tornado.
like
literally.
just gross.
I definitely blame Grant for her passing because, like I said, this could have been prevented. At least we would have known if they would have tried the chemo when they found out, who knows where we'd be today.
He knew what he was doing. I know for a fact.
I think he saw like she got sick and he was like, aha.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Mm.
Maybe he didn't see that she was going to get sick, nothing like that, but he definitely knew what he was doing cuz she had retirement,
Yeah.
she had a job, she was completely settled. She didn't need him at all.
Yeah, she didn't need him at all. He needed
No.
her.
She was
Oh,
completely good
yeah.
with her life, and he just came around and now he's taking whatever he wants,
Well,
basically.
I want to give you the space to talk about losing your mom and like dealing with that. And then how do you go through grieving when you're also trying to uncover the truth
Oh,
of
that's
this
a good
guy?
question. That's a good, yeah.
That's the thing is
That
that
is the
we
problem.
feel
We're like in limbo right now.
apparently where we live, they hold a marriage higher than a will. And just because that wording is in there, it doesn't protect everything 100%. So we were told by her attorney that in Florida, if there is no prenup prior to the marriage, the spouse is entitled to everything unless there were children, then the children are entitled to a percentage of that as well. So it gets split up. In this case, she had two children and a husband. So it got split up three ways. So he was entitled to elect his 30%. So he's still living in her condo and he won't leave. So we can't even properly grieve because in America, I feel like it's normal for adult children, to go to their parents' homes after they pass away, go through their belongings and kind of like use that moment
Mhm.
as like you go, like you talk about memories, like, you
Mhm.
Yes.
find stuff.
There's
You're like, oh my God,
closure.
remember
You're like,
this?
"Yeah."
And we have not been able to do that because since
To this
she
day.
passed away, yeah, when we reached out to him, we're like, "Hey, when do you think it's a good time?" Like we just kind of asked him like, "When's a good time?" We weren't asking if we could come. We were asking when we could go over, go through her stuff. He's just like, "Oh, I'm not home." Every time we'd
Mhm.
ask, he's like,
"Oh,
"I'm
I'm
not gonna be
working."
home. I'm not there. No." And then eventually it got to the point where, "You guys don't need to come here." And we're like, "What?"
It was her house.
It was her
Yes.
house.
She's owned that place way before he was even around.
And we're like, "We wanna go through our mom's stuff. That's not a question. We need to do that." And he's just like, "That's okay. I'm boxing everything up. Just give me an address so I can drop it off."
First of all, don't give him an address. It's like, I don't want him to know
No. Yeah,
anything about your lives.
We didn't, but it's just so disrespectful. You're just gonna, like,
So
box
bad.
up
Like,
my
how do you know
mom's
what
stu
we like, that's not okay.
Yeah.
It's not your stuff, number 1. That whole place she furnished, I mean, it's all
Yeah.
her things in there, probably all kinds of memories, like, it's just sick.
And you're not even coming at him fighting for the house
No.
back. You're
No.
just wanting her stuff, which I don't like that he kept the house.
It just the
I
fact
know.
I asked him, I go, "What are you hiding that you don't want us to go over there?" And that was my biggest thing, and it took a few months for us to even reach out to him just because it's really hard to even speak to this man knowing what he did, but at the same time, he has the upper hand. We have to kind of play nice, keep things civil, and it just even reaching out, it took a lot out of us just to do that because you don't want to be fake with this person, but you also know that he can do whatever he wants. He has the upper hand in the situation and he's very, he's spiteful.
Mackenzie, if you had
Yes.
to pick a favorite snack, what would it be?
That's Hannah, that's not fair, but I think, sweets, anything sweet. I don't know. This is hard.
You know what's good is that Baked by Melissa, while the sweets are cupcakes exclusively, you don't have to choose one flavor or flavor profile. You could have a little salted caramel, or you could have the sweetest of all sweets, cookie dough. Baked by
Those things are
Melissa,
so good.
we're obsessed. We're obsessed. Tell them why.
So the Baked by Melissa cupcakes are like little miniature, little bite-sized cupcakes, and they have filling and topping and the cake and the flavor, and there's so many to choose from. It's y'all, they're so good. Oh my gosh. It doesn't matter what kind you get.
This is actually perfect timing because if you are kind of last minute on a holiday gift, maybe a work colleague or someone you just want to send something thoughtful to, but aren't sure what to do, Baked by Melissa is perfect. It'll arrive when you need. They have so many options. We sent a gluten free one to our friend who's gluten free, and she was freaking out because they
Obsessed,
were so
yeah.
amazing. And she was like, I've never had a gluten free dessert like this. Like, they're so good.
It comes really fast. It comes nice and cold in a little cold pack, and it's packaged really nicely.
Oh, yeah. Hostess gifts, sending to loved ones across the country, or treating your team and your clients. Like we said, they offer incredible gluten free. They have vegan, they have no nut options. They make it easy for everyone. So, right now, Baked by Melissa is offering our listeners 20% off your order at bakedbymelissa.com/dating detectives. That's bakedbymelissa.com/dating detectives for 20% off your order. Bakedbymelissa.com/dating detectives.
So good. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. The holidays are about traditions and spending time together. And also, it can be a little hectic and a little bit crazy, but therapy can give you the space to create new, meaningful traditions and provide clarity amid the holiday chaos. If you're anything like me, you get a little bit wrapped up in what's going on and it's hard to calm down. There's just so much going on around the holidays. That's why I love BetterHelp. I can't encourage therapy enough, especially during this time. I encourage you to try BetterHelp online therapy in December as a way to close the year with clarity rather than chaos. They have quality therapists. BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct. They're fully licensed in the US. They do all the initial matching work for you. So you kind of get like a quiz and they can focus on your therapy goals and match you with the right therapist, which you can always change. You'll determine if it's someone that you want to continue to work with. This December, start a new tradition by taking care of you. Our listeners get 10% off at betterhelp.com/TDD. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TDD.
So he wants to stay in the condo, but he's only entitled to 30%. So
I was like, hey, I was wondering if we could just meet and see how we're doing all this. Because we're obviously grieving. Like, it took us months to even contact him in this way because it's just a lot. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll meet you guys. And we get there and, you know, he's got his little smirk on his face as usual. And we start going through a couple things with the attorney, and we made sure to have a translator there because he doesn't speak English. So the translator's there. The attorney starts speaking, and then the translator starts going or whatever. And he stops the translator and is like, no, I understand him. And starts speaking in English.
What?
Yeah. So we're like, oh,
this
wow.
whole time.
We looked at each other and we're like, what the fuck is happening? We're like, wait, so you know English? Like, oh, he was fluently like fine, like
going on.
Like,
you know,
he
a little
didn't
accent.
pick it up on Duolingo in the
Little
last 2
accent
weeks. Like
here
he
and
knew.
there, but completely understood everything the attorney was talking about and speaking in English to us.
And your mom didn't know that, because it sounds like
I don't know,
at least
which
what
is weird.
She told you. She said she
very
yeah,
weird,
she
right?
kind of was just like, oh yeah, he can kind of speak
a little
it.
bit.
Yeah.
Like a little bit.
No,
but
this man had a whole conversation with us and the attorney and demanded money.
And he had no idea that she had a will until my sister brought it to his attention. And he was even like, she didn't have a will. And my sister's like, oh, but she did. And she specifically said that she wanted her kids to have everything. So when he found that out, at first he was trying to play it like, I'm not trying to go after anything. I just want to stay in this condo that I've been living in for the last 4 years. You know, it's my home. Me and my sister were just going to offer him some money to help him move out and maybe find a place, enough to get him started, but we didn't feel like he was entitled to anything. And if he wasn't going to fight us on it, we were perfectly fine with that. But we were going to offer him enough to at least get himself set up somewhere else, because she did not want him to have that condo. She made it very clear that she's like, he does not deserve that at all. So it was just so crazy, because when we're in this meeting, he's just like, yeah, your mom specifically said that if anything were to happen, that, you know, she wants me to stay with the condo. He even said, I tried telling her, no, you know, everything should be left to your children. And she insisted that I stay with the condo. It just sounded so ridiculous, because that's not anything my mom would ever say. She was worried about that even from before they got married. She even asked an attorney, like, hey, are my properties safe in the event I pass away or we get divorced? And whoever she spoke with said, yeah, that doesn't count because it was before the marriage. And then it wasn't until after that she finds out that that's not true, that he is entitled to a percentage of it.
And then all of a sudden at the end, he's like, well, you know what? If they give me $50K, we can settle this.
I'm sorry, what?
Okay.
Just pulled it out of.
Yeah. We're like, okay.
Gosh.
But okay.
Like
and we're like, all right, cool. In my head, I'm like, all right, well, if we sell the condo, then you can get $50K, right? And he's like, no, why would I wait for that? Just, you can get it from the family.
Yeah.
We're like, what are you talking about? We don't have like all this money.
Isn't that like not on the table too? It's like, it's her money that you guys are talking about? Like, you
I'm-
can't just
Right.
be like,
but-
let me go to the other people in the family. And like,
That's what
I'm
he
just
said.
confused. He's such a dingbat.
Yeah.
But didn't
Yeah.
she sign a thing that said no?
Well,
Doesn't matter.
it's
They didn't have a
no.
prenup.
Marriage over will, you said.
Yep.
That
Marriage
takes
over will.
priority.
So we were like, we're gonna just hold off on that, and we're gonna talk about it because I don't feel comfortable just agreeing to it. So we were like, no, and it's been a couple of months after that. What was it, like a month or maybe like a month? All of a sudden, he has a lawyer because at that time he didn't have a lawyer.
What's going on his social media through all of this?
Oh, funny you should ask.
Yeah.
So his Instagram, non-existent. Like he hasn't posted anything. Facebook,
Oh.
nothing. We just
His
came
attorneys told
across-
him to.
Probably. But guess what? Now his TikTok is blowing up.
Oh, jeez.
Mhm.
So now he does only TikTok stuff that we found out.
Wow. Okay. So he's
that's
still
where,
doing it.
Tess was talking about, oh, he has all these followers now all of a sudden.
Oh no.
And he stopped responding to my messages.
Yep.
Like
Mm.
up until
Yep.
that time, he was responding to me passive aggressively, but
Where's
then
the
after
case
that,
now and
nothing.
everything? Nothing?
Nothing.
There's
we
no
reached
update
out.
now?
We reached out just to see if he would
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah.
respond. She wrote him like, "Hey, so we're gonna do a ceremony to spread our mom's ashes. Would you like
Mhm.
to be there?" Just to see if any response out of him. What does he want to be there? Like, is he really there for our mom? Because he hasn't brought up any kind of, oh, well, I want some of her ashes or anything like that. Nope, he didn't even respond.
He doesn't. Oh,
He doesn't. He doesn't care
Nothing.
about that part. On her birthday this year, that it just passed last month, we did a little cake for her, and I sent him a little video. I go, "Hey, we celebrated our mom's birthday. It's today, just in case you forgot." And he just left me on red. He didn't even say anything
Oh God.
at all. But
It's
just
so
goes to show.
disgusting.
Hard to believe that someone's brain
Oh,
can
he
move
so
that way.
his TikToks now are like he does this little inspirational videos every morning, and he'll be like sitting at the pool at our mom's condo.
Oh
Mhm.
God. So he's there. Yeah.
Like he's disgusting.
So our lawyer advised us to just give him what he's asking for because he could take a lot more. He's entitled to a lot more. But we were just like, no. Like, we don't really care. It's about the money, the stuff. He should not be able to get anything at this point. He came here with barely anything, and now he's just like some superstar benefiting off of the death of my mom. So now we're trying to look more into this marriage with the woman my cousin found. But even though she lives in Florida, they got married abroad, so it's been really difficult to find the records. But we really don't want to give up on finding out whether he's still married or not, because technically, if he is still married and never got a divorce, that would mean that their marriage is, it should be voided in the United States. And therefore, he can't get anything. And then it's also considered marriage fraud. So we feel like that would be justice for us, justice for our mom, for the family that had to go through all this, losing her so young. Also, we're still looking around and trying to see how we can prove that or what information we can get on that situation. But again, it's international, so it's really hard.
Well, what do you like? People, there's a lot of people like him, as I'm sure you know.
Right.
That TV show on Netflix, Apple Cider Vinegar. Did you hear about that? It's not this
No.
exactly, but it's just about it's based on a real story about an influencer who lied about having cancer and claimed to have cured her own cancer with nutrition
Oh my God.
and liked the fame. And I mean, how many people did she hurt in that, just in the spreading that message? Like
So
what?
he does this
What are
every
we?
single day. And he like will go to a clinic, quote unquote, where he works. And that's where he does a lot of his videos, sitting in a chair, looking like a doctor.
In
Mhm.
his scrubs.
In his scrubs. It's sick.
How do we get people to not follow them?
I don't
Because it's
know.
not like we can take a license away.
There's no license.
He's got no
Exactly.
license.
I know.
He's got free speech.
But
He could wear
Isn't that-
scrubs.
He can wear
right, like,
scrubs. I'm so sorry about the consequence of his
right.
I hate that
dangerous
and that he's
message.
just getting away with all this stuff. Like, that's crazy.
We just kind of want to know, has this happened before? Is he doing
With
this to
him.
somebody else right now, currently?
Does this
he
sound
very well
familiar
could
to
be.
any of our listeners?
Right.
I think it could
He
be,
could be.
his following, people that don't know him personally taking his
Yeah. Of
advice, as
course.
well as people in his
He has
life.
a lot
I mean,
of followers.
Well, and
bet
it
he has
sounds
other
like
women.
it sounds like he's a sweet talker, maybe, and he knows how
Mhm.
to he knows how to prey on those unmet needs and get people to listen to him.
And all this natural healing
Like, if you're
stuff
not
is
creeped
very
out by him.
popular.
It's
Yeah.
trendy. Yes, it's very trendy.
Mhm.
Mm.
People want to be healthier and prevent certain things, and they're going to listen to all this stuff. Not saying that it's like all BS, but
Right.
there's
But at a certain
times where
point,
you have-
like,
Consider the source.
Consider
Yeah,
the source.
exactly.
I mean,
I'm so sorry. Oh,
I think it's all a scam. I don't know if he believes what he's saying or if he's just
I think he
aware of
thinks
the
he's
scam.
like, yeah, I mean, I think he actually believes it, but also has a hint of like, evil.
oh, for sure.
Well, if he's got pictures of Nazi doctors above his bed,
Yeah.
Right.
there's no redeeming that. That's insane. I mean, as a family, how are you guys doing? This is not something
Ugh.
that I can even imagine. Like,
Well, we're still going through it. Nothing
Yeah.
has been finalized. Like, we're still going through like probate. We still have not even been able to go to my mom's house. Nothing.
Oh,
Yeah. We don't have any of her things, nothing.
that is so
So,
hurtful.
It's really hard to grieve while still having to deal with this man, because I feel like from what I've seen, people who lose their parents, how they grieve, they're able to go through their parents' belongings. They're able to talk about old memories, and I feel like that was taken from us. We didn't get to do that.
God,
It's a
know.
slap in the face.
But he spoke at her funeral,
Okay.
and we didn't invite him. Like, he just showed up there.
oh, he did come to the funeral.
He
Yeah.
showed up. Our kids like spoke and stuff, and then he decided to come up and speak, and all of our uncles just got up and walked away.
What?
It was a little dramatic, but
Yeah.
What did he say?
he was just like, oh, she was the love of my life. And he got up there like nothing, no shame, just went up and was like, oh, she was the love of my life. Oh, like, it was really just sick. Like, he plays the part. Like, he
Yeah.
is like going through it all the way to the end.
I think it's interesting that he even started his relationship with her with his sob story,
Mm-hmm.
his trauma. He healed himself. Like, that's what they do. They know how to make you feel sorry for them, inspired by them, and like then they know what's best for you and they want what's best for you. It sounded like he did that thing where it's kind of like an us against the world mentality. And he probably said things that were very untrue about you both and your intentions and the doctor's intentions. It's just devastating.
Yes.
Oh man.
So
I'm glad you started and talked about how social and wonderful your mom was, because I think it comes up a lot where people are really kind people and want to believe in other people, and that is taken advantage of, but it's not a weakness. She was optimistic and kind, and he saw that. It's so sad that what was so
Definitely took
beautiful about
advantage.
her is what he used. You
yeah,
guys.
I definitely see that, and everybody knew that about her. Like, oh, she would just go do anything for you. Like if you needed something, she's going to go do it for you. And he could see how her family felt about her too. So I think he took advantage of that.
So me and my sister, I don't think we'll stop looking for what we're looking for. We kind of are just very optimistic that something will come up. Something's gonna come up and expose the truth behind his motives, and so it's really hard, but we're not gonna stop until we find it.
This is a lot to unpack.
I'm so sad. I mean, let's just start and say their aunt and their mom. I mean, like, I'm so sorry to them.
And also, I can't imagine how they must feel as far as like, first of all, how do you be there to support someone when you can see that clearly something isn't right? But we've talked about how it's so important to just say, hey, I'm here for you instead of, girl, he's bad for you. You need to get out. Like that doesn't resonate as much as just being there. But in this case, they lost their mom. And I can't even imagine how that must feel.
It's an impossible situation because they
Yeah.
obviously regret not pushing harder to interfere. And yet they felt in the moment if they were to push harder, they would push her away and then they'd have
Yeah.
nothing. And in this case,
Yes.
they ended up with her dying and like it's nothing either way.
This was legit a double-edged sword.
Yeah, let's talk about how like throughout this period, which was 6 months, she was dead within 6 months. That's very quick.
Yeah.
In hindsight, like I'm looking back and I'm with you, like slipping her in the mushrooms and all the pills and things that were incompatible with the care that she needed was poisoning her. And I do think it was intentional. It's all alleged. This is entertainment purposes only, but it seems like he wanted to kill her and take her house and money. And
Yes. And let's talk about, not to mention her age. Can this be considered elder abuse?
right, I was thinking about that. So in the moment, like we said, COVID added distance, like they weren't getting all of the information right away. They were getting information
Right.
through other people, through her, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, could they call? What would happen if they had called the police and said, my stepdad is abusing my mom
Well, hopefully they would have
with
opened
the
it.
mushroom stuff?
Yeah, hopefully they would have opened an investigation, right? Like that would be something that I would expect, right?
Well, so, okay, in the event that that happens and the mom is not agreeing with the fact that it's abuse, like the mom is like, I guess that's part of it. She's being manipulated. That's part of the abuse.
Yeah.
So if somebody's in this position as a PI and a criminal nerd, what do you think? Like just document everything? What advice do you have for somebody that might have to go through something like this?
I would say, like, I've always said, call the cops. And okay, so just like cyber crimes, cops might not know exactly what is considered elder abuse, especially something that's prolonged, like poisoning or something where he's giving her mushrooms that may or may not be abuse if she takes them willingly on her own or whatever. But I feel like the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So if you just keep talking and keep complaining, eventually someone's going to look into it. And I feel like in that case where these girls, it's hard because you know that something's wrong, but also, like we talked about before, how do you say something without them thinking that you're interfering too much? But you can call the cops, make a report. You can, I mean, complain to the hospital staff and just make it known that this is
Which
something
they
that
did
you,
eventually.
yeah, like this is something that's not okay. They need to know.
I don't know.
It's
The
terrible.
fog of being in that while also
Yep.
mourning the loss of your aunt and trying to navigate what's going on with your mom. Like there's
Yeah.
emotion and there's
Mm.
practical and like what you do. And now they're still in it. They're still in it. I mean, they're grieving while pursuing justice with him and navigating even what happened. Like it didn't.
It's just it's a lot to carry, and just for them to know that this is still ongoing, and I imagine, I mean, hindsight's always 2020, and we always look back and go, "Oh gosh, I wish I could have done differently." So you're carrying a lot of guilt, even though it's not their fault. You still carry a lot of guilt for what could I have done differently? And just to know that this guy's still out, I hope they get the justice that I hope he gets what he
Oh
deserves, and
my
I hope they
gosh.
get the justice they deserve.
Okay, I'd also love to talk about the world of social media and influencing in medicine and wellness because the
Yeah,
pipeline,
it's a
it is
lot.
really easy to go from switching from coffee to tea to swearing off all doctors. And that
Yeah.
sounds crazy to a lot of you, but I think we all know people or somebody that's like susceptible to that, or we're like the minute you think you're not susceptible to that, we say this all the time, whether it's saying I'll never get dogfished or just I'll never fall for a conspiracy theory. That's
Right.
when you become more vulnerable. Trust but
Yes.
verify. Like you gotta really be wary of people that are good salesmen.
Yeah.
Guys, I can't even talk.
Salesmen, yeah. Salespeople.
Okay, I
No,
want to. Oh,
you
go ahead.
really do have to you really do have to look out for that. Like, there's just
Well, it's so dangerous. And this guy was
this is
literally
just
wearing scrubs.
yeah, he was definitely trying to make people believe he was something other than what he was, and that's all there is to it. Like, you'll never convince me that he wasn't trying to make people believe that.
So there's a guy named John of God that I went down a rabbit hole researching a couple months ago. There's a podcast called Maintenance Phase, and they do an episode about it. If you'd like to listen, I mentioned him, I think, on the episode, but he's a crazy case of a guy. I forget what country he was in, but he would basically claim to perform surgery remotely. And he would be like, here's what's going to happen. You have this horrible issue. You're going to buy my herbs, which you have to buy them for my wife. So it's like, okay, that's where he's making money. You have to drink these herbs for like 24 hours and then go to sleep. And then people would wake up and they'd claim that they had gone through like deep exhaustion, like they felt like their body went through surgery and they were healed, but like nothing happened. And then he would have people come to his location and they had to like wear white and sit in a room and he would perform quote surgery on them all at the same time and like touch their
Oh,
eyeball. He did a thing with the
what?
eyeball. And then he was charged for sexual assault of almost 100 people at one point and is now in prison, obviously.
Oh my god.
But that's a crazy story. And then also I looked up the guy Bruno Groening that he had taped over his bed,
Oh, yeah,
a
yeah.
Nazi, also charged with sexual assault and then died from stomach cancer at age 52. So there's something tied. I'm just saying what I'm seeing. There's a tie
Just
between some
saying, just saying.
sexual and relationship and financial abuse and these healers. And I know that some people, I'm not saying alternative health and medicine is all bad, but just something to note. And then my last rec, the TV show Apple Cider Vinegar on Netflix, which you should watch.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot about that. Apple cider vinegar. I
Yeah.
saw that and then
That's based
I
on a
favorited
real influencer who claimed she cured her cancer by eating fruits and veggies, which
That's why you have to like I always say consider the source. You have to consider, okay, where is this information coming from? You know what I mean? Is this someone that like you just have to consider it. Like if you look at someone who has that's why people that have so many followers, people look at them and go, "Oh, they only have like 700 followers." But this one has 100,000. But they're saying the exact same thing. Who do you believe more? You're going to believe the person has more followers because like, "Oh, they but that's
yeah, but
not
then you gotta
necessarily
check,
the case."
but check their engagement, y'all. I've worked in social media marketing a long time. They might be buying those
Yes.
followers. If they have 100,000 followers and 10 comments, something's off. Okay, the math ain't
Yes.
mathing.
The
Like
math ain't
there are
mathin'.
ways to fact check this, and in this world of AI and social media, like it's getting harder and harder. I hate this story. We're sorry, this is a sad story where we're not necessarily ending it on like, woohoo, here's what you can do to prevent this in the future. It's like
Right.
devastating and scary. That's just the fact. Anything else? I mean, I just that he preyed on her kindness, targeted her 100%, and kindness is not a weakness.
Yes,
And
100%.
he's the problem,
Agreed.
not her. And
Yes.
it's something I have to remind myself because it's very easy to think, put up walls, don't be kind, and then you'll never be preyed upon. But even like they'll find ways. I hate this.
Like
I'm being really
it
pessimistic.
sucks to be like that, but also, I mean,
I know. I think think you can be cautious and kind at the same time.
Yeah, you have to be.
Yeah, but I'd rather stop. I'm going to focus my energy on stopping the dogfish because I think everybody listening here, we're the group that are smart enough to take our own steps to protect ourselves in the ways that are best for us, and we can collectively recognize that the real problem is the perpetrators.
Yes. But I think they're doing the right thing by their mom, and hopefully to feel better on themselves, to know that they're doing something for her that will help them kind of see that, or help get justice. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
he should be in prison.
Oh, I'm so mad.
I'm so mad. I hope they get access to their mom's stuff and that he is stopped, because I don't want him to do this to other people. But
yes,
we say this a lot. We try to share messages to our guests if you send support or if you have experience that might relate to what they've been through. So you're welcome to comment or send on Patreon, or Spotify has comments, or email us if you want to share a message of support to Lena and Tessa. You can also share your own story.
Yeah, if you have your own story, just email us, investigate@thedatingdetectivespodcast.com. Thank you to Lena and Tessa for sharing this. I can't even imagine how hard what they went through it. Like, but I'm glad that they had each other to kind of go through it with. But man, that's devastating. I can't even imagine.
I know. This is important though, the medical manipulation. That reminds me, I'm having more self-defense stuff coming up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to do a Los Angeles workshop on January 11th, and then I'm going to do one in Las Vegas in February 22nd. So if you listen in the Vegas area, I'll be posting about it. But my family lives in Vegas, so I was like, wait, I'm going to do one here too.
Yeah, we need to, and we're going to I want to keep the Don't Get Killed Club going, because it's so amazing what you've done. And yes, that would be so much fun. It'd be really great.
Anything else we got to tell people? We love you.
I don't think so. We love you so much. Thank you so much for listening and for supporting us and sharing us on your socials, and for the positive reviews and the 5 stars on all the apps. We appreciate you and we love you.
And happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Enjoy your time with your fam.
As always,
trust your intuition.